Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Another dangerous night on Connecticut roads. We begin tonight on the scenes of two separate crashes. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. In both cases, the victims are under the age of 18. We'll take you to Portland first.
And that's where officials tell us a 14-year-old teenager was hit by a car on Main Street. The crash happened just after 5:30 p.m. We're told the teenager was seriously hurt. He's now in the hospital, and we are currently waiting for an update on his condition. Officials say the driver of the car that hit him stayed on the scene to cooperate with police. Traffic was closed in both directions to allow police to investigate.
And then in Clinton, state troopers have confirmed to Fox 61 they're investigating a pedestrian crash that happened on Sunnybrook Lane. That's a neighborhood just south of I-95. They say a child suffered serious injuries. They have not revealed how old that child is. It happened around 4:15 this afternoon, though. We're working to learn more about exactly what happened.
And we are closely tracking both crashes. We'll bring you updates as we learn more on air, online, and on the free Fox 61 News app. You can download it by scanning the QR code on your screen.
Time now for a first check on the forecast. We hope you made the most of today's sunshine. It got really warm out there.
Yeah, we're getting into another stretch of on and off rain. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frayne joining us now with what to expect. Rach.
Yeah, we had 2 beautiful days, and now we're back to our regularly scheduled programming with cooler temperatures and occasional showers. Temperatures right now are in the mid-60s for Hartford and for New Haven, and you'll see while most of the state is dry, we have a few light showers and sprinkles that are starting to push into parts of western, southwestern Connecticut, and there's a bit more where that came from. So we'll continue to see these work through overnight tonight as a slow-moving area of low pressure works in from the south. Overnight lows will be dipping back into the 50s. And as we head through the day tomorrow, I don't think it's a washout. There will be periods of time where it's dry and you can get stuff done, but it will for sure be cooler with highs in the 60s instead of today's 70s to near 80 degrees. We'll see scattered showers out there for the morning drive, so it will be wet out there for some heading off to work and school. And again, while there will be some breaks, you may reach for the umbrella occasionally off and on right into the evening. And there is a chance for a period of steadier rain too as we head into later tomorrow night especially. We'll do it again on Thursday, although Thursday may be a bit wetter, and then a break in the action. We'll talk about what that means as we head towards the end of the week. Your full forecast coming up.
The Caitlin Clark effect here in Connecticut, one of the most anticipated player debuts in quite some time, and fans are all watching what's happening at Mohegan Sun.
The Connecticut Sun opened their regular season tonight against the Indiana Fever, and the talk of women's basketball, Caitlin Clark. The house sold out at Mohegan Sun. Fans of all ages cheering on the Sun and the Fever tonight.
People in the crowd held up signs to cheer on number 22 in her first regular season game in the WNBA. No matter what team fans were rooting for here, there was a lot of excitement. Caitlin Clark was the #1 pick in this year's WNBA draft and a 2-time College Player of the Year. Tonight's game was sold out, which could be a precursor of what's to come for this season for Clark and the Fever. The last time the Sun sold out their home opener was back in their inaugural season in 2003.
Now, while there was certainly a lot of hype for Caitlin Clark, the Sun had a mission to play spoiler for number 22's debut, and they did just that. The Sun win their home opener, 92-71 the final score. Alyssa Thomas recorded her 9th triple-double in her career. She was one of 5 Sun players who scored in double figures, including DeWanna Bonner, who moved into 5th place all-time in the WNBA in scoring. Caitlin Clark led the Fever in scoring with 20 points, but also had 10 turnovers in this one. Fox 61 Sports Director Jonah Karp is wrapping up with both teams, getting interviews with the players post-game, and we'll check in with him next hour on the Fox 61 News at 11. All right, of course, not to be overshadowed by the debut of Caitlin Clark, fans of the Connecticut Sun are excited to start the season out on such a high note.
The Sun are looking to keep their momentum as high as it has been the past few years. The team has had success in the regular season, but has been unable to reach that championship level. Fans are certainly hoping this year is their year.
I've been a season ticket holder since 2019, so for many, many years. I've been coming since day one.
How many signatures are on the back of that jersey?
A lot. A lot. I was at the breakfast last year, and I had all the people sign it. I've been waiting for this since last year, since we lost to New York. I haven't healed since that loss to the Liberty, and I've been begging for championships since Morgantown got here.
The championship is a ways away, though. The Sun have plenty of work ahead of them. They'll have another run-in with Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever at Mohegan Sun Arena in June.
To Enfield now, where one of the largest retail properties in the state is expected to be torn down for a big redevelopment project. Town officials tell Fox 61 big plans are in the works for the Enfield Mall. Fox 61's Matt Caron spoke with tenants and Enfield locals and has more on what's to come.
Well, the Enfield Mall was, in its heyday, a thriving retail mecca. But now it's a zombie mall that's fallen into disrepair following years of neglect. Town leaders have long wanted to do something about it. Now they found a developer who's willing to help. You are looking at the Mall of the Future.
The new vision is a mixed-use model,
complete with retail, housing, hotels, and recreation.
If we don't do anything, it's just going to continue to deteriorate.
And it has. These photos show the squalor, from abandoned retailers to roof leaks.
There's no secret the current owner of the mall is not friendly to the people in the mall or the town, and it's costing the residents money.
And though the mall is now mostly an indoor walking track for older folks,
they're not shopping, no, they're not.
There are still a few small tenants whose futures are now up in the air.
It sucks because we're all kind of tight-knit here, and there's probably going to be a lot of us that separate ways.
The mall's current owner, New York-based Namdar, is selling the property to Nebraska-based Woodsonia, a developer who manages 75 properties in 75 communities.
Experience. This isn't somebody who just came up with a great idea. This is somebody who's actually done it.
Specifically, the project would bring big brand name retailers, 450 housing units, 2 hotels, walking and biking trails, and new restaurants.
I think it's a good thing. It's positive.
But it has a big price tag, $250 million, relying on $20 million in state funding, money that's not a guarantee.
I'm confident that some of the money will be there. I'm not sure that the state will allow the $20 million.
The developer has also said if they don't get that $20 million from the state, they probably won't go through with this project, which is slated to take at least 2 years. And they're also asking for money to make sure that this soil isn't contaminated from past development. Reporting in Enfield, Matt Caron, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Police in Wallingford still searching for suspects after more than a dozen cars had their windows smashed. It happened yesterday afternoon in the parking lot of Gaylord Hospital. Police say 15 cars, all owned by hospital employees, were broken into. Windows were smashed and several people had wallets stolen. Wallingford police are still investigating and ask anyone with relevant information to give them a call. Officials say the incident shows why it's important to always remove valuables from cars when they're left unattended. 2 people, including a state trooper, were taken to the hospital early this morning after a crash in a construction zone on I-91 in Wethersfield. Police say the cruiser was parked in that zone with its lights on when it was reportedly hit by 25-year-old Joseph Fritz of Hartford. Fritz and the trooper were injured, and we're waiting for an update on both of their conditions tonight. Fritz also faces charges in that crash.
Well, new tonight, a new business in Willimantic has become one of the first of its kind in Connecticut. ReFramed is a bar with a twist. No matter what you get on the menu, they all have one thing in common. Fox 61's Jake Garcia was there for the ribbon cutting, and he tells us how the owner wants people to rethink how they drink.
2, 1, yeah!
From cans to bottles. No matter what you get to drink at Willimantic's newest bar, there's one thing you won't find: alcohol. The owner, Frances McGrath, says this was an idea inspired by the pandemic.
I kind of came up with this idea and started thinking about it right around during COVID. That's pretty much when I got sober, was right the fall before COVID. So I was thinking about how I really needed a place to go and a place to be and a place that didn't serve or smell like alcohol.
ReFramed, a dry spot, was presented with an honor by state lawmakers for what's believed to be Connecticut's only fully non-alcoholic bar.
Rethink how you drink is a positive step towards exploring social gatherings and community relationships. Congratulations.
Town leaders excited to have something like this in Willimantic, which has had a reputation for drug abuse.
Oh, this is awesome. As a person who's in long-term recovery myself, we need more of these. This is poetic justice, because Willimantic is changing.
While more young people are drinking so-called mocktails and taking in sober environments, the stats are showing Connecticut is drinking more booze. Since 2010, alcohol use in the state has been higher than the national average. The National Survey on Drug Use and Health found that the most of the years since then, Connecticut ranked in the top 10 states for drinking prevalence. Sober bars started to open in the U.S. in 2017 and are hard to find. And while ReFramed is modeled more after a coffee shop, the owner says that's intentional.
A safe and sober space to build community. You're here and you're enjoying the moment. You know, maybe you're not on your phone, you're playing a game, you're talking to friends, whatever you're doing, you're having a good time.
From licorice soda to malts on tap, here you can raise a glass and buy another round without having to worry about a designated driver. Having a drink in Willimantic, Jake Garcia, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.